Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to the track reviews for February. This is the second one. I'm excited to do this again. We had a pretty good turnout last time. I think we had about 6 or 7 tracks that were submitted, and they were great. And I hope I helped everybody. I hope I hear some of those tracks that we heard last time. If not, that's great. Hopefully, we hear them in a future track review session. Just to get off the top here, we're going to do track reviews every month. It's the last Friday of the month. Right now, we'll have them at 10 p.m. or 10 p.m. Eastern time, which that time might change here in the upcoming future. Don't know yet, but I'll always make sure to put out a video a week before the last Friday of the month, just to remind everybody to submit their tracks and that we're having it, and I'll give the time. So always be on the lookout for those videos when I upload those to the channel. I hope everybody's doing well today on this. Well, mine's not really a glorious Friday here. It's a bit cloudy, so it's not too glorious, but I hope everybody out there that's watching is having a good time and a good day and getting ready for the weekend. And I think what we're going to do today is we're just going to go get started. I hope I have everything working today. I know we had some trouble last time. Do note that I have to get off the stream before 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern, so we're probably going to wrap this up about 12:45, 12:50, so I don't want to waste too much time. And let's get started with the reviews. If you have a track that you want to submit, please submit it. I don't think we have anybody in chat right now. I kind of want to have... Oh, there's 2 people watching. Great. If you guys can roll, if you can hear the sound is all good and all that, just let me know. But let's get started. I'm hoping the levels are great because I have them set from what we had last time, so I hope it's not gonna blow anybody here's drums out. Just put in the chat, let me know if it's not good. So let's get started. Here's our first track. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 tracks today, so that's good. It is okay, they say in the chat. Great. So let's get started. Okay, perfect. I got in the chat, they said that the levels were a little low. I turned it up a little bit. Hopefully that's better. Let me know in the chat. I'm watching the levels here. OBS has changed the interface. They changed some stuff here, and I'm still getting used to it. But it looked like we weren't clipping. We were pretty much in green and yellow. So they actually put in OBS, they finally put decibel levels on it. So that's a great improvement, because sometimes OBS, it's hard to read, the levels. So, okay. I have a lot to say about this one. It's great. It's great for this track has really good underscore. The problem I had at first was the intro was a little bit too long. The drum thing, it was perfect. It's set up. I just think I think you came in at 8 bars. You got the choir thing coming in, and then after that, it kept going a little bit with the percussion. One tip I think you could do is just get right to it, man. Get right to the action. Get right to what we need to do. Unless if this is a cue for a movie or film or TV, and it's just an underscore, I get that. But just from a standalone thing, a little tip to give everybody here: when you're writing for film and stuff like that, I understand underscore is just it's there so it doesn't draw attention to himself. But a good test on your tracks is to listen to them without the picture and see if they still hold up. You know what I mean? I'm a sucker for melody. I always like melody. So, you know what I mean? So somehow, some way you can throw that in there is always a plus. I'm going to turn my voice down a little bit. I noticed I was clipping. So yeah, let me get in here where I was talking about. So I'm not using Cubase today. I'm actually using what I wanted to use before, but if this doesn't go very well, I might go back to using Cubase like we did in the first one. Let's see. And also when the music actually kicks in, you might want to bring those drum levels down a little bit, because they were just like, they're still, bum, 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 bum. That's not, it took away the focus of the music, if that makes sense. And maybe put so you're going to go to this kind of style, maybe put a synth on the very low in the background, pulsating, maybe doing some sort of a rhythm, like a pulse rhythm, just to kind of give it a little bit, to fill it in a little bit. So then you come with the strings here, perfect. Bring the drums down. They're still a little loud. Then maybe drop the choir, move the choir to something else. Use some different chords. Maybe take that to horn. Move that choir to horns, because you use the choir a little too much. So move it around to maybe horns, trumpets. Okay, and there's ostinato. Okay, this is perfect. You dropped it out. It's great. Okay, maybe you could put the synth in. Okay, and you're building it up. That's great. Love it. Okay, good. Maybe you can do a melody here on horns or trumpets or strings or something. Now I need to increase the mic level. See, now you're having I hear the bass right now. I hear it now. You should have had that at the beginning. But I kind of understand you were building it up to this peak point. It needs a melody or something, because it's just I understand it's underscore. I'm pretty sure. So the level on my mic was a little low. I turned it up a little bit. I just don't want to clip, because sometimes if I get it like really close to my like that, it will start clipping. So I'm trying to get it there. I mean, if you're going for this style of music, I know what you're going for, the Hans Zimmer style. You got to put the horns in. You just got to do it. The da 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 da, or something like that. That's what it's screaming for. It's missing that right now. This is what you should do, that horn section melody. Do maybe 8 bars of the horn. Switch it up. Put it to strings. See, because you got that choir still going. So it's just basically right now what we have is a loop going on. And so to make this interesting, to make this track really shine, it's got the underpinnings there. You got the structure, you got everything in place. Now let's try to move this track along. Let's try to bring some more to it. Let's make it move a little bit. So move the choirs that they're doing the the builds. Move it to some maybe trombones, some horns, or maybe do some, then move it to strings a little bit. Just move those chords around so they don't get stale, because that's what's happening. And then start changing up the rhythm pattern too. I think you did a little bit. Or change out some drums, add a new drum sound or something. But I think the structure there, I think everything's going well. It's just, we just need to polish it a little bit, tighten it up, add some new colors, put some horns in there, make a great melody, especially when you went into this part here. Yeah, right when it stopped. Bam, right there. Something like that. I don't know, I'm just, riffing here. But I think if you put a melody line there when horns and maybe trombones, and give it some good stuff there, I think it would really grab people. And like I said, tighten up that intro a little bit, because that second part, after you go from the choirs and then you kind of let that go for a little bit until you actually get into it. Maybe put that synth that you got going on. Right there, bringing it in right here. Put that in the beginning too. Yeah, you can still submit a track. The Dropbox or the Google Drive folder is still open. It's open all the time. I should probably let everybody know. The Google Drive folder that is linked here, that was linked in every video, is always open. But what I'm going to do after we have a track session, I delete everything that's in there and start from scratch. So you have a whole month to put tracks in there. So just to let everybody know. Yes, go ahead and submit a track. Like I said, we have about 50 more minutes, so I'm going to try to get through everybody's as I can, because I have a meeting at 1 o'clock. So it just sort of came up, and I couldn't move this and move that. So you can't find a way to do so. Here. Isn't there a link at the bottom of this live stream video? There's another try that one. There's going to be another beautiful thing happening here soon. I'm going to be launching my Patreon campaign pretty soon. And what that's going to entail is I have a Discord channel. So there's going to be a chat so everybody can get on, and I'll be in there all the time. So look for that soon. I'll be making an announcement in a video very soon. And it's going to have, if anybody's familiar with Discord, it's going to have different channels for everything. So everybody in here can talk and share stuff and all that great stuff. So we're going to build that, and I will be in there, of course. And then there's going to be a section in the Discord channel for patrons only that can go in there. It's going to have voice chat, and it's just going to be for patrons, so we can talk and set things up and all that great stuff. So that's coming soon. I'm working on it. The Patreon campaign, I'm working on it. I'm trying to put some really good stuff together. I don't really want to talk about it very much, because it's going to be one of those things. I'm going to announce it, and we're done. And that's it. So if you want to be a patron, cool. If not, I don't care. But I'm trying to set up the rewards that's great for everybody, that works. It's very cheap. So, by the way, your voice is a little low. Why is it a little low? Hold on. Let me try something. The levels here on it might be the way that I have this routed. Man, see, this is the thing. I might have to use Cubase, and I don't want to. All right. Yeah, it's probably the way that this is routed. I'm going to have to probably start using Cubase again. Just throw the tracks in Cubase and do it. But we're not going to do that today. Is the voice better? Is it not loud enough? Let me know. I have it cranked, and I don't want to blow everybody's eardrums out. All right, let's get to the second track, and just let me know in chat. We got to move along. All right, so here's the second one. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love when I get tracks like this. Oh, by the way, I don't listen to these tracks beforehand, so when I'm listening to them for the first time, just like you, so I always love getting this stuff. It's cool. All right, first thing I noticed right away was that trumpet. It was cool, and then it got annoying pretty quickly. I love the track. Everything below the track was great. It's not the composition. It's just the, I guess it's the sound of that trumpet. I think it needs to be shaped a little bit more. It sounds more. I can tell it's a fake trumpet. If that's what you're going for, great. But see, let's cool it with the trumpet. So this is only a 37-second song. It's overstayed its welcome already. Perfect there. Maybe right there at that second time around, maybe hold that note. Dun-dun-dun. Like that, make a crescendo. Dun, and then drop it on the trumpet. What I would do after that trumpet line, since this is very synthy, let's do a synth part. Synth lead, man. Drop the trumpet. And then break for a second, and then go into a synth line. Do a synth lead right there. I think that'd be cool. That would be perfect. But see, like the trumpet just so maybe change up the melody a little bit, add some variety in it. Since this is only a 37-second song clip, it's going to wear out its welcome very, very quickly, and it's already did that. Just change up the sound, move it to a synth, move it back to the trumpet, do a dual there. I think that would be cool. And then maybe switch it to a different instrument and stuff like that. So cool. I hope that helps. Like I said, I love the track. It's good. It's got everything on it. The beat's good. It's really cool. I just think the things that I've noticed right off the bat was that trumpet just got a little annoying for me. Maybe let's do a synth lead. I mean, it's a synthy song, but if that's what you're going for on the trumpet, then it's perfectly fine. But I just think it overstayed its welcome a little bit. All right. So I see more tracks coming in here. So let me get rid of the ones we've already talked about so I don't play those again. All right, so let's go with this one. Cool, just submitted a new adventure. Awesome, perfect. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm going a little quick today, guys. Normally I have a lot of time, but like I said, I have a meeting at 1. So that's the thing. It's just I'm gonna move this along. So not a lot of time. I apologize. I wanted to move this track reviews to a different time, but I already set it in stone. So Trent said that trumpet is a little harsh. Yeah, definitely. It's a cool track. No, it's nothing with the track or nothing like that. It's just it overstayed its welcome, and I could tell it's a fake trumpet. And I'd put a synth lead in there. That's just me. So I hope that helps. And that's what the chat's saying too. So here we go. Let's go for track number 2 or 3. Cool. Loved it. So, compositional wise, loved it. I thought it was good. I was following it along. It was leading me like it's supposed to. Could have used the melody somewhere. I mean, there was melodies in the piano. So if it's going for the piano thing and the strings are accompaniment, that's great. I could tell you're a piano player, just from listening to it. It was great. I'm trying to put words here. I think the strings, more of its production. The composition's fine. The strings a little loud at the beginning. I don't think strings in a piano would be. You know what I mean? Strings wouldn't be that aggressive. So tailor it down. This is gentle. The track name is Despair. So, this is a very emotional piece, very emotional. So we want those strings, to breathe a little bit, give some emotion, which they do. I just think, more mod, more expression, a little bit softer, and then build maybe the dynamics until you get to that build at the end. Let's see. There was something. Yeah, right here. Those high strings are very loud, and they need some expression and modulation to kind of, come down like that. Because strings players aren't just on 10 all the time, like, I mean, they can be, but that's a very delicate part right there. We're very delicate here in the beginning, and we're building the piece, so make it delicate. And I would say maybe add some woodwinds to this. When you're up high like that with strings, it's always good to add flutes up there to accompaniment. It's always a good thing. See, I like how it tailed off like that. That's good, because that's how a real, that's how they'll do it. It tailed off. Perfect. See, right there, those strings are just very like, woo, you know what I mean? I get what you're going for. I just think you need to ease it a little bit. Ease it. I mean, we're only 23 seconds into the piece. You want to build it. I think if you start off slower, and build it, that end piece that you had that was so emotional, the kind of the climax with the piano and everything, I think it would give more to the piece. Because you're already like, we're already 100 at the beginning. It's like, but you're telling a story here. So save it. Always save stuff. I love the changes too in the chords, man. See, right? So then we changed here. So it sounds like you're building a kind of a climax right there. What you should have done also right there, have it go to 0. Have everything stop. Bring it down, 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 bring it down. No cymbal yet. We want to bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Silence. Then come back into the piece. I think I have a little bit more impact. I'm hearing a choir in there. Yeah, I hear a choir. Okay. Yeah, the strings are just too loud. They're just too loud. I can't even hear the choir. So we need to balance it a little bit. Like I said, the composition is great. Just a few things here. I think it's more of a production thing. This is a soft and delicate piece. So we want to start there. Bring the strings down. Bring them more delicate. Make them breathe a little bit more. When you come down to that section I just pointed out, I would bring it down to 0 and then come back into it. Just a little more emotional impact, That's all I had. I mean, like I said, the composition's great. I loved it. I was following it from the very beginning. What you could even do at this part, you could just drop all that and just do a piano solo. I mean, just piano. Right there. Or something, because you can want to mix it up, because we've heard the strings now for 2 minutes. The strings have just been keep going on, so you want to move this stuff around. You want to pique your interest, and we just have the strings going the whole time. So I hope that helps. I hope that like I said, the piece is great. I loved it. I was following along. I love the chord changes, how it just went down to somewhere else where I didn't think it was going. So it was definitely cool there. It's just a production thing. And I think, adding more interest, making it a little bit more emotional, making it breathe a little bit more, and building to that peak. Because we're already, 100 at number one with the strings and stuff. You want to build, save to the end. All right, let's move on to the next track here. But overall, really good. Loved it. Yeah, no problem, man. You're welcome. I hope it helped. Okay, so let's go with this one here. And it just stopped. Whoa. I loved it. Cool. A little bit. There's a few things that I think just make this track way better. We went right into that choir or the lady voice. Was there what else was doubling with her? It sounded like an ethnic instrument too, or was that just her voice? Yeah, like right here, it just goes right into this choir, and I was just like, whoa. It sounds like an Eastern instrument there. I have no idea, but I love the textures, love everything. I think what you could do is maybe bring the voice in like a bar or two before you go into it, maybe to set it up. That's always a good thing to do, is before you bring in a new instrument, set it up beforehand. Hey, Curtis, how you doing, man? Do that. And then, yeah, what is that choir? I've heard it. It sounds so familiar. It just sounds unnatural a little bit. The voice, not like, oh, a singer's not going to jump up like that, I don't think. They could. Yeah, I totally agree. It's just too, like, see, right there, and it stopped abruptly. Bring a horn in there. Bring our dun, 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 burn. Set it up. Set the horn up before you bring the horn in. Theremin, that's what I thought. I couldn't think of the name of it. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so you could have, instead of just, okay, it's like, hi, I'm singing. A singer's not going to stop like that. They're just not going to go, That's like me playing a note on a guitar and go, dun, dun, dun. So let it fade out a little bit. Let that voice fade out. But yeah, like all the ideas are great. I think if you just set it up a little bit, a bar or two before with the instrument that you're going to bring in next, I think it would make it flow a little bit. Because like me, I just like, oh, okay, what just happened? It was a bit jarring there. That's what I was thinking. Like the horn. The strings, the strings still sound like they're up high. Maybe try bringing some strings down. Hold on, I'm trying to hear. It just stops. Like, so I don't know. The track, well, it says it's unfinished. It says track unfinished. So, but it's a great start. Great start. I just think setting up those, just setting it up, you know, because like it just, that choir thing, it just ended abruptly. I was just like, whoa. And I was, so, you know what I mean? And a singer is not just going to go, oh, they're going to go, oh, and it's going to, you know, it's going to tail off like that. And it's okay to have instruments go into your next section. Like, you know, just tailor them down like that. That's totally fine. You can do that. Don't just have it stop, right? Because you're going to a new instrument. Just have it, okay, it's done. No, it can carry over. Oh, because that's how they're going to do it. That's how a singer's going to do that. A good tip, and if this is a tip for anybody, is when you start writing a piece, start listening to pieces that you're trying to write. So you can get the real instruments, not fake instruments, real orchestral, real choirs, stuff like that. And that's why I suggest, I have a video template tips, is to add reference tracks in your template on tracks that you try to write like. Don't try to copy how they're writing it, but how it's study those tracks that you want to sound like. So you know how that voice is going to sound natural. Obviously, you got to remember we're working with samples. They're fake. They will never sound real, okay? You can get them to sound close, but virtual instruments will never sound like a real person or a player. It just will never happen, okay? Get over that. Once you get over that, it gets easier, sort of. Me and Curtis had a long conversation about this. So if you haven't watched the interview with Curtis, he's in the chat. Check it out. There's a lot of good, valuable information there. Anyway. Oh, hey, Cactus Pie. You add a new track. Okay, cool. But yeah, love it. So finish this track. You have to finish it. I want to hear it. I want to hear these improvements. Like I said, just set up those sections. You know, don't just stop abruptly. Let them flow in a little bit and come to a close. You know, that's how real instruments play. It's how real players play. They don't just stop on a stop sign. They let it go a little bit. It's okay to do that. When you bring in that voice like that, maybe set it up a bar or two before that and then go into it. That's cool. Same with that horn idea. Bring it in from the ending section and do like a counter melody or, you know, something like that, and then go into the melody that you were going to have. Hope that helps. Love the track. I want to hear it finished. Go finish this piece. It's worth it. It just needs to be tidied up, you know, just massaged a little bit. But it's a great first start if this is your first start. All right, let's move to I've lost count. These tracks keep they keep bubbling in here. Like I said, I got to stop at like 12:50, 12:55. So we have about 25 minutes because I got a meeting at 1. So I apologize. I didn't want to have to reschedule this, but because I already told everybody at noon. So let's just get rolling here. All right, let's see. Okay, we got that one. Okay, let's take a look at this one. I got a feeling deep inside my soul. Yeah, I love it. Ooh, be my girl. All right, I love it. Like I said, I love when I get tracks like this. Okay, I have a few things to say. Somebody in the chat said this actually sounds professionally produced. Yeah, production's great. Compositional wise, I love what you did. You set up the thing, the saxophone thing. You brought it back in later. Great, perfect tie in. Okay, the thing it's missing, at least I think, this is my opinion. This is one, guy on the internet's opinion, is it needs a voice. Or if you're gonna do that saxophone thing, either hire a live singer or hire a live saxophone player and start playing some melody lines over this track. Oh, this track is calling for something. It needs a singer or something going on. Like, I'll tell you what I mean. I'm trying to tell you. Other than that, this is great. I love it. You do this saxophone thing. Hold on. This. Now the saxophone can start ripping a little bit, or do it after this break. Right here. Now saxophone come in. Or something. I know you got the synths doing it, but I think, I don't know. I love it though. I have a feeling this would sell well on RF sites. Yeah, this thing would sell pretty good. It's a great dance track, something to put under. Like I said, it's very hard for me to talk about stuff like this. I'm not a dance expert. I love dance music. I listen to it, electronic music and stuff. I try to listen to it, but I don't compose it, so I don't know. I'm just telling you my initial thoughts and what I'm hearing when I hear your track. It sounds great. I love the structure. It's perfect. It's just, I would think if it had a voice on it, a female singer, because if you listen to this types of dance music and you have that saxophone thing, I think if you did something with a live saxophone player doing some melodies and, just ripping a little bit on a sax, get some guy or some female that knows how to play the saxophone, it can improvise some cool stuff, or if you could write some cool melody lines and just pepper it in there, I think it'd be cool. But I don't have a lot. I don't really have a lot to say about this track. It's awesome. It sounds great. I was moving. I was feeling it. So you did your job. So I hope that helps. But that's the only two things I could give to you is maybe, put a live singer on this track or put a saxophone, because I like that saxophone thing you were doing. Or it was just cool. So hope that helps. People in the chat. We're having some good, they said sounds professional. It does. It sounds really good. No problems there. All right, let's move on to the next one here. I'm sorry that I'm moving fast, guys. We got about 15 minutes, so. Expecting a melody. Wow. What game was I just playing? Literally, that's from a game soundtrack. That's awesome. Loved it. I don't have much to say about compositional wise because you know what you're doing, obviously. I think a little bit on the strings there at the climax, it just sounded a little. There's just certain parts that it was just. I would double it with flutes. I don't know if you are or not. It's hard to tell. Like the separation is a little hard to tell on some of this stuff, especially on headphones. Like that's the thing. But I loved it. I mean, I don't have much to say about it. I think it's perfect. You put runs in the, like when you did the woodwind runs, you put them in the exact spot you're supposed to do it. You did it. You executed it fine. You did the, like what John Williams would do. You do the runs right into something. You're going into something, not just putting, woodwind runs to put woodwind runs in. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say. I really don't. I loved it. We might have to talk a little bit, and you have to give me some tips. I loved it, man. Curtis says, I want to hear a B section to the melody. Yeah, that's too. But yeah, I mean, but definitely I think you're on the way, every track could use more production, can get better. We all know that stuff. But from a compositional setting up structure, I liked it. I followed it. The harmony and oboe melody is beautiful. Yeah, I loved it. Sorry that I don't have too much to say about it, but that means you're doing something right. But yeah, hey, Piano Speaks, man, email me or something, and we got to talk. I definitely want to pick your brain a little bit. Yeah, melody was great, dude. I seriously, what was the inspiration for this track? It's got to be a video game. At the beginning, though, I did notice one thing at the beginning. Like it just kind of like it's cool. It just blew into it real quick, and I was just like, whoa. So maybe tame it a little bit. Hold on, let me play it again. I guess it's fine. I just like the first time I heard it, I just like there was just so much going on. Like I couldn't lock on to what you were doing, but it's just kind of a setup and then you went into it. So I kind of get it. Temporal into the opening. Yeah, yeah. Let's get into it. Like set it up, not just, yeah. Perfect, Curtis. You took it right out of my mouth, man. All right. Cool. Awesome track. All right, here's the next one. Like I said, guys, I only got like 10 minutes, so I'm going to try to get these fast as I can. If we don't, maybe after my meeting I can get back on and we can continue. So if you guys have tracks and you're sending them in right now, keep sending them. After I do my meeting and everything, I'll try to hop back on if we don't finish these. So let's get started. Yeah, if everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's watching, Curtis, he's the one that I had the interview with. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out on the channel. Curtis knows what he's talking about and a great guy. Hopefully we'll get to work together soon. We gotta, me and Curtis has got to talk too. So, but yeah, definitely Piano Speaks, get in touch with me. All right. Cool. I don't think they can play that fast. They might. Okay, a few things production wise. Those cymbals, the crashes you did, they kind of ended a little too quickly. Let them breathe. Let them trail out. It just sounds like a because cymbals aren't going to do that. They're gonna ring out, which is okay. That's fine. Strings, that intro, I don't think. If you have the best players in the world, they could probably play it, but it just sound like, I know it's fake strings. I could just tell. That right there. That it sounds fake. So, which obviously, because it's not a real player. I'm sure if you got the best player in the world that can play that, I don't know. To me, like, my ears when I first heard it, I was like, okay. Yeah, strings are the worst, man. Especially virtual. Virtual strings are the worst to get real. They just are. So, yeah. You're not the only one. Trust me. Everybody struggles with strings because strings are so delicate. I'm a guitar player. So, I understand strings because there's so many nuances in a string when you play, like, especially with guitar. Like, there's vibrato and all this stuff that you don't think about that they do. You know what I mean? That can't be captured on a freaking keyboard, or a virtual instrument. So it's the hardest one, I think. I mean, brass, yeah, I mean, you can get, I mean, I've heard brass that sounds realistic. But strings for me is what breaks it, because if you can't get your strings right, you can get woodwinds and, well, woodwinds is delicate too because it's a breath thing. I don't know. I might be talking out of my ass, but, hey, are you a musician? Yeah, I play the I play guitar. Sorry, I was reading the chat. But yeah, okay, for everything else, let's see. But yeah, those string runs, I don't know about that. I love this right here. That right into this, beautiful. Because it led me right to it, that harp right there. But yeah, those cymbals, that crash, let it ring out. Let it ring out. They kind of just go. They aren't going to do that. They're going to go. Let the splash, let it go. Maybe ride the expression or mod wheel a little bit, but make sure it curves down. You know what I mean? It curves out. Don't just, because the real cymbals aren't going to do that. Other than that, I like it. Those strings, hold on. Yeah, put some little more expression in those strings. When you're holding those high notes like that, a string player is going to kind of damper a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, so put a little more, just a little expression into it. Just kind of build it up and then come down and then build it back up and come down when you hit those peaks. Whoops, sorry. Just so, because that's how it's really going to be, in real life. A string player isn't going to be, because they'd be really like hitting that bow really hard. Same with the guitar player. Just think about guitar. When you're playing guitar, you're not picking, it's dynamic. You're going to swell into those notes. So I hope that helps. Okay, let's move on here, guys. I'm sorry that I have to rush, but like I said, if we can't get through all these, maybe I will. I'll stream after my meeting. Work comes first. I apologize. Little quiet. Ooh, nice. Love that reverb. Okay, this is what. Okay. This is probably gonna be the last Peeps I review right now because I gotta go here in about 5 minutes. I liked it. There was a few spots that like caught me off guard. You were doing some stuff. I couldn't lock on what you're doing. Like you set up the melody and the horns that first time around, and then you went to the second pass. Do it again, or do it in a different instrument. You went to like the choir thing, and it was like unsure. Like, okay, I did what I was gonna do, and I'm kind of unsure what I want to do the second time around. That's how it felt when I was listening to it. And then when you went into this section, yeah, this part. Those sub things you had going on, do one right there. This was cool. I love this. The reverb you had was awesome. The tail. When you went into the second part, okay, you have this. Okay, you're setting up the melody. So I'm concentrating on the melody, but then you got this other instrument going, doing these little runs in the background. Save it for the second time, because when you do something new for the first time, like a melody or something, we need to concentrate on that, because if you can't have more than 2 instruments playing at a time doing melody the first time you do a new melody or a melody. Good rule of thumb. When you go into the second time, that's when you can start adding counterpoint and doing all that stuff, because then I know the melody and I'm comfortable with it, if that makes sense. So I got lost there for a second. I was like, wait a minute, what do you want me to focus on? Remember, when we're a listener, what we're trying to focus on is melody, instruments that are standing out, and whoever you put the focus to, that's where my ears go. So if you have, the melody here, and then you have this other thing going here, I'm like, what do I need to concentrate on? That's what we do. That's just what our minds do as humans. So I would fix that. When you go into that new section with the melody, take that stuff out, save it for the second time. And then you changed up the rhythm here, which is cool. But get rid of the sub thing. I'll tell you where. Hold on. That's cool. That one's fine. You did it again, I think, coming up here. When you went to the soft part, I think. I guess it's okay. The first time it just felt jarring to me. This is cool. I love this. This is beautiful. Maybe do little strings, like flatandos or something, very quietly. Or something. Would be cool. But yeah, I think it was great. Like I said, those few little notes, it needs to be, compositional wise, needs to be tightened up a little bit. But other than that, it works. I liked it. The sounds, I love the reverb you had tailing off in the background. It was just some points in the track that I couldn't follow. I was like, whoa, what am I supposed to follow here? And when you did the melody the first time with the horns, do the melody again, maybe change up the melody a couple notes at the second time. Your second time, do the first pass, the same notes, and then the second section of your melody, change it up a little bit. Bring a new instrument, maybe double with the horn, or change it, maybe go to strings or something. Just change it up a little bit. All right, I apologize. We still have 2 tracks. I have a meeting here in 2 minutes, so I have to drop off right now. I apologize that I have to. Like I said, maybe after my meeting, I'll get back on streaming and we can finish these 2 tracks. And if you're watching and you have tracks you want me to review, throw them in the Dropbox or the drive folder that's at the bottom of this video. But yeah, you just want to change up colors in this thing, because a little bit more. But yeah, other than that, it was great. So I apologize. I really have to go, guys. So thank you for coming to the stream, and I'll see you here in about hopefully another half hour to an hour. Thank you, and take care, everybody. Have a great day.